Well, I haven't done one of these in a while. Sorry for the delay, I just had to get a few things done. Good news is before we start my next review, good news is I took my Regents exams in June, and it just took me so long, but I managed to pass both Algebra 2 and Global Studies, so I don't have to worry about them next year. Here, just wanted to get out of the way. It's just that I haven't been really on planning on my next Let's Play and do the Regents work. I know I've been behind. So with third delay, it's finally time to review the 20th episode of Season 2 of MLP, It's About Time. Which, by the way, that title, anyway, It's About Time. So this episode begins in a dream with Spike showing Rarity an ice cream filled.
It is an ice cream house. Chocolate fudge shingles, lots of road wash.
But then the dream is suddenly ruined when Twilight begins to freak out for reasons.
Oh, hi Spike. It's the middle of the night. Why are you pacing like this? Frankly, I don't know how you can sleep at a time like this. 3 a.m.?
Okay, am I the only one who notices that a lot of shows use 3 a.m. as part of some jokes? Like, think about it. Like the hash-slinging slasher episode of SpongeBob SquarePants said, "Who has a Krabby Patty at 3 in the morning?" And Patrick's like, "Oh boy, 3 a.m.!" Like, seriously, is 3 a.m. always going to be the time whenever there's a night joke?
It's awful. It's terrible. It's tragic. I don't understand.
Yeah, I gotta agree, Spike. I mean, is this going to be Lesson 0 all over again?
What's wrong? Here. Now do you see what's wrong? We forgot to celebrate Arbor Day? No. The problem is I just finished planning my schedule for the month, but I forgot to leave time to plan for next month. Don't you see? There's no time in my schedule to put together another schedule. I could move my meeting with the Ponyville Hay Board to the following Tuesday, but then I have to reschedule my lunch with Pinkie Pie, and you know what a nightmare she is with scheduling.
Well, then why did you want to have lunch with her in the first place?
This is an absolute disaster. My whole year could be thrown off. And I woke up from an ice cream dream with this.
Alright, so through some manic hidden after the theme song to some convoluted whatever, Twilight is suddenly approached by her future self, which I'm sure is not going to look like somebody from the future who looks like a pony version of Nick Fury at all. It's sort of Nick Fury.
Twilight, you've got to listen to me. Who are you? I mean, you're me, but I'm me too. How can there be two me's? It's not scientifically possible. You are not scientifically possible.
Oh God, here we go.
Twilight, please. I have a very important message for you from the future. You're from the future? That's right.
Oh boy. Yep, this is gonna be the episode where Twilight tries to figure out what to do, and then she starts freaking out through.
Right, now listen. What happened to you? The future must be awful. Please, I don't have much time. Is there some sort of epic pony war in the distant future or something? Actually, I'm from next Tuesday morning.
Yeah, because I was going to say, how the hell would you look like that on like next Tuesday, but I'll just answer my own question later in the episode.
But that's not important right now.
So future Twilight tries to explain herself, but because Twilight's so in awe, she doesn't have enough time to listen to.
Figure it out.
And considering how time travel always works, future Twilight doesn't have enough time to even tell her what the hell's going on.
Now you have to listen to time travel fun, or does it hurt? I have so many questions. I have something extremely important to tell you about the future, and I only have a few seconds, so you've got to listen. Whatever you do. Future Twilight? Oh no! What was she trying to warn me about?
Well, maybe if you didn't keep asking her questions, maybe she would have told you.
Her clothes, her vein, that scar. Oh, what a mess she is.
Wouldn't that technically mean you're talking to yourself?
I mean, I am, or I will be. She must want me to prevent whatever horrible thing happens in the future. Come on, Butterfly. The party can't start till that party supplies get there. Help.
I guess maybe Pinkie Pie did take Fluttershy's behavior and putting her hook down too seriously. I guess this is her way of saying payback to bitch.
The balloons
So Twilight gathers up everyone to just do stuff, and she thinks that by repairing the dam, things will be...
Everybody else, time to disaster-proof Equestria.
And then we get a montage of them fixing the place. I hate this stupid... Alright, long story short, it's not the disaster-proof, and then suddenly...
Okay, everybody, follow my lead.
Nice going, Pinky. Well, we're boned.
What is that thing? That's Cerberus. He's supposed to be guarding the gates of Tartarus.
Oh. Anyone familiar with that line? That is going to be huge amounts of foreshadowing for Season 4.
But if he's here, then all the ancient evil creatures that have been imprisoned there can escape and destroy Equestria.
Including one who is slowly watching you since, well, I'll get to it when I get there.
Equestria? Yeah! Isn't it great?
Long story short...
Hey, that's Twilight. Do you have a ball I can borrow? I have ball stashed all over Ponyville. In case of ball emergency. Hey, Cerberus! Look what I have! I'll be back as soon as I've returned him to the gates of Tartarus. Once he's back at home, there'll be no disaster.
Could you imagine if Twilight did the same thing with the Cerberus from Hercules? Wouldn't that be so much easier? So she gets back the next day, only to be covered in ash and ends up with a paper scratch.
It's a big deal. It's just a lost dog flyer. I guess the princess hasn't heard we found Cerberus yet. It's not that. It's this. A paper cut? Come on, Twilight. You really need to toughen up. Just clean it out and you'll be fine. The cut's in the exact same spot as the scar on future Twilight's cheek.
And that scar is just a paper cut. Okay, I think this is one of the things that kind of irks me about this episode, is the fact that Twilight is constantly worried about and that her IQ throughout the entire episode is slowly dropping to the insanity. And the premise of the whole future Twilight thing, it's just so been done to death.
We haven't changed the future at all. The disaster is still coming.
Oh yeah.
If the disaster wasn't caused
So Twilight's IQ continues to drop and she tries to stand still.
No matter what happens, you're not gonna move a muscle, huh?
And she decides to stand there and do nothing, and Spike decides to take this opportunity to be a complete douchebag.
Eat an entire tub of ice cream.
Can I shoot this prick now? Alright, the long story short, Spike accidentally burns her mane off.
I'm not so sure that's the show me. No, this is the same mane cut as future Twilight. You know, it really doesn't look too bad. I don't care how it looks. It's just another sign that the future hasn't changed.
Oh, Lord. So, basically the thing, this big disaster is basically the equivalent of Judgment Day from the Terminator movies, huh?
Not doing anything didn't work either. Oh, I wish there was a way to know what was going to happen so I could stop it. You want to see...
So Spike tells Twilight she knows someone named Madam Pinky, when really it's just Pinkie Pie.
You like my mythical orb of Thieves' Death?
Yeah, I think it's another thing that actually bothers a lot of fandom in this episode, where there's a lot of fan fiction behind one pony from Call of the Cutie that continues to be bombarded by Apple Bloom, and it's Time Turner, but a lot of people like to call him Dr. Who's. So when this episode came out, they assumed that Dr. Who's was going to be in this episode, but instead we get Madam Pinky, who's just basically Pinkie Pie.
I just got it. Cool, huh? Yeah, that's what I've seen. Look deep into the crystal ball, for soon it will reveal all. Ah, yes, I see something. It's a vision of...
God, I'm so bored.
You, Twilight, you will get a really cool birthday present next year.
Lame.
Yes, and that's it. Are you sure? Yep. Cool birthday present. Pinky, I need your pinky sense to tell me.
Oh yeah, and we finally get some good explanation about the Pinky Sense, since it's been building up since Feelin' Pinky. It was mentioned before in Feelin' Pinky Keen, and was barely noticeable in Mysterious Mirror-Duel. So this episode finally explains the use of the Pinky Sense, so I gotta give this episode that.
What the impending disaster is that future Twilight was trying to warn me about. Oh, my fortune telling has nothing to do with my pinky sense, silly. It's only good for vague and immediate events.
Like that?
See? Where did that even come from?
So Pinky stopped by Twilight, and guess what? She goes even more crazy, and her IQ drops even lower.
Cool birthday present, isn't she?
Who cares? As long as I can keep eating ice cream. Sorry, future Spike. Ah.
You have no idea how much I hate you so much, Spike. You arrogant little prick.
Are you okay? Pinky, I'm glad you're here. Can you help me recalibrate the apertures on the 90
So then
Sure!
So Twilight's brain continues to drop in her IQ and goes to insanity mode, and she finally decides.
Stop time!
So the conclusion to that is that Twilight thinks that she, in order to stop the future disaster, she has to head to Canterlot and stop time. And they get to dress like bandits.
Okay, the Canterlot archives are right over there. Let's move!
So now the movie decides to go Mission Impossible on us.
I don't think we need to sneak around, Twilight. It's not illegal to walk around Canterlot.
Guys!
Oh my god.
Come on, you guys!
It's no use. I can still hear your sneaky music.
That was close.
I don't know why we have to wear these things either.
Aren't we wearing them for fun? No, there's nothing fun about this. Oh, are you sure? Focus, guys. The only way to prevent this...
Long story short,
Slowly listening...
they break in and let me guess.
Okay, if my calculations are correct, the star swirl the bearded wing should be right here.
Twilight,
What is it, Spike?
isn't this where we came in?
Cool. Can we climb in the window again? That was super fun. I don't understand. It's supposed to be right here. How are we supposed to find it now? Maybe we should ask some pony in the star swirl the bearded wing.
I missed that.
Look at all those priceless magic scrolls. There are more than I ever imagined.
And yeah, if maybe one of these trolls would actually tell us how the hell to get back. Seriously, if this shop was for real, would you imagine we could just use that stuff to go back in time and stop the Kennedy assassination or 9/11? That would be pretty damn amazing.
Twilight, the car!
What do we do?
It's almost Tuesday morning. The disaster could happen at any moment.
But how do we find the time-stopping spell? There must be a million scrolls here.
I don't know.
Well, I guess we're fucked. Alright, so
I don't know.
So surprise, surprise, no big accident happened. Whoopie frickin' do.
Good morning, Twilight. Love the new hairstyle. Well, happy Tuesday.
I'm surprised that Zelensky say, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna let you be.
Why isn't any pony surprised to see me sneaking around in here? Is it possible there never was a disaster? That I've just been making myself frantic over nothing?
I don't get it. If future Twilight wasn't warning you about a disaster, then what was she trying to tell you?
I don't know, but I do know one thing. I look ridiculous.
Yeah, you do.
And it's all because I couldn't stop worrying and let the future handle itself. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm saying this is another good thing about this episode, is the moral. Because someone like me, I freak out over the future a lot. Whether it's in like the next week or the next millennium, I just freak out over everything. It's About Time's moral is actually a moral that actually teaches me to be like less stressed about the future and just keeps me focused on the present.
I'm going to solve problems as they come and stop worrying about every little thing.
That's great. Does that mean there won't be any more late-night pacing?
You make Lucy Van Pelt look like an angel!
No more late-night pacing. If only I had learned this lesson a week ago, we wouldn't have had to go through all this.
Twilight, sit down sometime.
Alright.
It doesn't stop time, but it lets you go back in time. It says you
And that's how future Twilight came to be. Then Twilight tries to tell her past self to not worry about it, and
You've got to listen. Whatever you do, don't waste your time worrying.
and then the whole thing starts all over again.
About. I can't believe I just did that.
Did you tell her about the cool birthday present?
Remember last week when future Twilight came to warn me about something? That was me trying to warn myself not to worry so much. Now I'm going to spend the next week freaking out about a disaster that doesn't even exist.
And at the same time, getting your man burned off, getting a paper cut, wearing that thing, and others. So yeah, and then the whole thing will recycle over and over again till the end of time.
Aw, don't worry about it. It's past Twilight's problem now.
I guess you're right, Pinky.
Oh, my stomach.
You know, I'm surprised Spike didn't get a lot of brain freeze from eating a lot of that ice cream.
I think it's all that ice cream.
No shit, Sherlock.
Stomachache would be future Spike's problem. But now I am future Spike.
Again, you make Lucy Van Pelt look like an angel.
Oh.
Come on, future Spike. Let's get you home.
And get your stomach pumped at the same time. So that was It's About Time, and it's, I don't know what to say. Like, it's a good episode on its own, but I don't know what to say. I just felt uncomfortable watching this. I mean, It's About Time is by no means a bad episode. I mean, like I said, the moral is definitely one of the more... Okay, that doesn't make sense. What I'm trying to say is that the moral was a breath of fresh air that I can relate to, and the fact that the humor was definitely on spot on. But the thing was, the entire episode, I just felt really uncomfortable watching. Outside of the fact of the premise that has been done to death a million times. And the premise being done to death a million times, and the fact that the Twilight IQ drops throughout the entire episode, I don't know. I only saw this episode twice before doing this review, because the thing was, first time I saw it, it just felt really uncomfortable to watch, and it's the same thing here. So don't get me wrong, It's About Time is not a bad episode, but for me, it was just really uncomfortable to watch. So, despite all the positives, I don't think this will be an episode I'll watch again. So, it's a C+. I mean, while there's a lot of good out of this episode, there's just huge amounts of uncomfortableness for me that I just can't really watch it again. So again, It's About Time gets a C+. But, hell, maybe the next episode might be good or not, but who cares. Well, I'll see you next time on Dragon Quest.